Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry for that breaking transmission. We are back to transmission again, and this is Schengen Story News Echo Wednesday broadcast. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, gentlemen, divas, we're sorry for that. That was some technical. I mean, you know how technology works. Sometimes you could have those very funny moments. So it's still News Echoes Wednesday, news African news for global audience. Wednesday today, the 7th of December, 2022, and Dr. Shogun was putting out some very good news updates. We were talking about the Chatham House presidential review and the APC government and its presidential candidates were in Chatham House in the United Kingdom on Monday. And a lot of people, a lot of comments have been waggling since then. How we saw it from this point, from the Western Europe, is we saw it more like a window dressing. Window dressing, APC government was window dressing Tinubu on the global stage. Very, very shameful performance. Yes, Dr. Sita, you were saying something about how they perceived it from Nigeria. Can you go ahead with that again, Dr. Sita?
Yes, thank you so much, Massive Milan. The peculiarity of that experience, it's very unique, and I don't think Nigerians are going to forget it in a hurry. As a matter of fact, almost everybody that I have spoken with, everybody within our circles that I've spoken with is angry. It's we didn't believe that it could happen, but it is the impunity with which it happened. And then it reached a point now where surrogates were beginning to play with the whole thing. And do you know that somebody in the audience whispered to the candidate and said, dance, Kiss Daniel, Buga dance. And he started dancing. So this is how he's going to play all through his tenure. He started dancing Buga dance. And then somebody came and pulled out his empty plate of food, and then he sat down and they started singing all over again. It became a play. So it has always been a play. Nigeria is a plaything for them. This is a very serious season. Everybody I know has packed up everything to talk about our elections, and that is how serious it is. We are all discussing the future of this country. Some of us have suspended our work to be able to follow this and follow it through. And I pray that people who are going to elect will get serious.
Before Dr. Shogun comes in, I'm also going to say something. But let's be factual also. Why Chatham House? I mean, what does, even though we know Chatham House is the Chatham House is a discussional venue where policies, international policies are being put out. But we are talking about Africa, Nigeria, and the voters. There are people selling guguru and red oil and pop-off and more on the streets that are voters that have nothing to do with Chatham. Whatever is being said there is just being said to the air. I mean, nobody in Chatham House will hold anybody in governance accountable if they don't do what they say. You know, it's just an image laundry plan. I don't know. Diva Anita, how are you seeing this from the female angle? Dr. Shogun is with us now. Dr. Shogun, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Diva Anita, how do you see this as a lady, a young lady in Nigeria, a voter, and now one of the candidates that you're going to vote for is taking his argument, his debate. Meanwhile, that same day, right there in your venue in Nigeria, Arise TV was having a similar debate, and the man left that, and that was the one that has more prominence, more connection with the voters. And the man goes to a white man's land that has nothing to do with our votes, with our election, and he's talking to those white people. How do you put that, Diva Anita? Go ahead. Diva Anita, can you hear me? Okay, I think Dr. Shogun, you can take it from there, sir. Maybe network issue. Yes.
I think what we can do is we'll come back to this issue on another day, maybe next week.
Okay.
Or maybe on Friday when we discuss international matters, so that we can package it on one.
Very well. Okay.
Yes, because it's so fundamental to our country. We should just not allow it to go like that. Very, very fundamental. Asiwaju remains someone who may win the election free or unfree. I don't know. So we have to really discuss it so that we can cascade it to the man who sells guguru on the road in Agege, because that's the essence of it all. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria released a policy the other day and said that withdrawals of cash will be 100,000 naira maximum, and the highest ATM denomination will be 200 naira. Some people felt that is shortchanging the ordinary businessman. But let me ask people in Nigeria, Dr. Sita, what does that mean? Dr. Sita.
I think his network went off too. It's okay.
Today is an exceptional day. Sir George, for those of us abroad, what will it mean?
Yeah. There is a saying that where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. So what you see in here is a visionless country, a country that is ruled with blind, the dumb, and the deaf. All they know is how to chop money. And they want to repeat the same thing again and again and again. So what you're seeing here is the CBN governor is making a decision. No money is coming in anymore. They have printed large sums of money. they feel like they have to control the outflow of money in such a way that too much will not be going into the sewer again, or into the private rooms, or into boxes, you know. So that's why they feel that they have to limit the outflow of money. But all these things are visionless type of moves. Because if you have a vision, you will consider the consequences of such actions. There are so many millions of people that are traders, millions of people that will be needing money. Now you're limiting the amount of money they can withdraw, and then you're telling them to withdraw to $200, so that if I get $500,000, I will use a tipper to carry the money. It doesn't make any sense. So
it doesn't make any sense to me too. And I just calculated, if you want to withdraw 50,000 naira, you will need 2,500 notes. If you want to withdraw 100,000 naira, you will need 5,000 notes. Your suit will be bulging, and you will attract thieves. Mark, why will we do this kind of policy at a time like this?
Actually, the initial policy, the initial plan to change the currency somehow was wise. It was a wise move. But this new one of yesterday, we are still looking at it from the financial angle. We don't see much sense in it. The CBN, the Apex Bank said the regulatory directives will also take effect from January 9. And it says there will be the only denomination of 200 naira and below will be loaded into the ATM machines. That's what they are saying. So we're looking at what is the rationale, like you said earlier. What's the rationale behind this? Somehow we only see it as probably blocking some strange financial movements in Nigeria. But who are that strange financial manipulators? Who are those people they are trying to target? They are trying to.
Okay.
Let's ask Ambassador Anita.
Dr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Let me just accord right now. If I have millions of naira stored up in my house, and I go to ATM, I'm able to withdraw $1,000 bills, 100,000. I can now turn around for the new currency. Yes. And I'm still able to deposit another 100,000 of the stored money. So that is the way to, kind of clean it up. Somebody, unless you limit it per week, they can actually every day 100,000, every day 100,000. In 10 days, they will just clear up $1 million naira, and they continue to do so. In their mindset, I think that's what they're thinking. They're trying to prevent from happening, because a lot of people are still sitting on large sums of money that they stole from home. Now, a way to get it out is, if I don't want to go straight to the bank and deposit all the money, I can withdraw what I have and replace it with the old currency.
Okay, I get it now. Ambassador Anita, as a lady, you have a purse. I don't know how wide your purse is. I know you're a rich woman. And so how do you now put in 5,000 notes because you've gone to withdraw 100,000? How do you, what do you think is the safety measure? Will people not be looking at your bag for having such a big purse? Anita.
Oh dear. I think we're still having.
I'm so glad to be here today. Yeah. I've been all the weather, but thank God I'm back. Okay, this whole policy is one that I don't understand, because a lot of reactions. It has triggered a lot of reactions on social medias and on different platforms, and some persons are even going ahead to say, you know what, I think it's time we just put our money somewhere, not in the bank, because I mean, we can't withdraw certain amount. We can't put in certain amount, because if you have certain amount, you're going to be investigated. You know, the policies are just something that we don't understand. I feel before you impose something this sensitive that has to do with people's resources, you have to kind of put it out there, the information, you sensitize people, you give reasons why you want to just wake up one morning and come up with such policies. We're yet to even digest the fact that, okay, the currency is being redesigned, and then you're now saying you're giving us limitations when it comes to business owner. This is what you can withdraw, this is what you can not withdraw. I don't know. The whole policy thing is something that we can't really phantom right now. So I don't really have an idea of what their plans are, but I'm just appealing to the, you know, the bodies in charge to, you know, give us some kind of clarity, make us understand. Maybe we will be able to say, okay, we understand where they're coming from, their point of view, their perspective of coming up with these different policies. Because I mean, you can just wake up tomorrow and they'll tell you, oh, you can't go to the bank no more. You have to get, you know, different things are just happening over time. So I think the people in charge just need to come up with a better way of, you know, giving out this information with clarity, so we don't keep asking questions and put us in a state of confusion, basically.
Thank you. Dr. Osita, is this a CBN policy or a Buhari policy? We recollect that he did that once in 1984, trying to stop the flow of money, but we just cannot make sense out of it, except what Sir George said earlier on a few minutes ago, saying that they don't want people to withdraw too much money and then empty their net and then fill their net and thinking they're playing on our intelligence. What is the rationale behind all of this?
Like I was trying to say before the network, what CBN is doing is a policy from the desk of the president. It's not anything strange, but the CBN has been talking about cashless policy for a long time. It's 3-4 years now. The steps they are taking now is one of the steps in the transitioning from a cash society to a cashless society. They're not saying that you cannot do transactions more than that sum of money, but it's not going to be cash. So what they are looking at is the possibility of giving us the time to get used to not carrying money. I don't carry money. People laugh at me because of that. Nobody can come up to me and say, "Oh, sister, please give me 1,000 naira." I don't carry money because I never used to. That's just me. But the problem they have is communicating their policy. I tell them that all the time. The country needs education, financial transaction education. Nothing stops us from changing currency with 6 months. Nothing stops us from doing transition into cashless environment with 6 months. Why are we in a hurry? What are we pursuing? It is a good thing that if we can go into a cashless policy, because that is the future. But the issue is, why must it be overnight? Why must it just come one day and say tomorrow you cannot draw money? What they are doing, by my understanding, is brilliant. But we need to be able to get it right. Cashless policy is the future. So if we want to do the future, we'll start now to learn how to achieve it.
Thank you, Doc. I'm further confused by what you have just said, because the number of hundreds of thousands of traders in Ogbete market in Enugu, the Ochanja market in Onitsha, the Dugbe market in Ibadan, the Rago market in Kano. I don't think all of these people will be transacting through the banks. People who come from West Africa to come and shop in Onitsha, they don't have this transaction e-money. So I don't know how is feasible. Mark, or you think with what Dr. Sita said?
It doesn't have, sorry about that. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't have to be overnight, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen in Africa. It's going to happen in West Africa. This is the tomorrow. This is the future
but
we're talking
the
about.
pace at
But
which
we are in a
Emefiele
hurry.
is doing it,
That is my concern.
Emefiele is doing it like it has to be his policy. Mark, you
Yeah,
agree with
Exactly.
That's it.
It doesn't
That's
have
it.
to be. We can spend the next 1 year doing it. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. That's what I'm saying.
And also, Africa should think African. We don't really need to be doing clumsy things like everybody's doing because we want to follow how people are doing things. You just called all these various markets, and like you've also said, Dr. Shegun, a lot of these marketplaces in Nigeria are major spots for big time business for other African countries. I know people come from Sierra Leone, Togo, Benin, to Ochanja Market, to Ruga Market in Kano, to Dubai Market in Ibadan. They come all the way. Now, we could come with policies and real good African monetary scheme instead of just waking up and doing all these things, creating confusion for these business people, and also reducing the chain value of transaction that they normally do have and that's been growing. So it's a problem. I personally think the CBN man is just doing things out of his own initiative, his own idea.
Yeah, it will be so that his name can be remembered. Now,
I wanted to say something.
George, I want to give you the last word on this matter. The reason being that Dr. Osita has said that he will advise Emefiele to take it easy and eventually do this thing. But what advice will you be giving Emefiele, Sir George?
First and foremost, I just wanted to, Anita, you said redesign of our money. I think that is absolutely wrong, unacceptable, because it's only recolored. Our money was not redesigned, it was recolored. They just put a different color, change color, that's all they did. So we need to really find out how much they spent to recolor our money. Now, that's number one. Number two is, yes, indeed, we don't have to follow the international ways of doing things because of the way our country and our culture, is. Now, I personally believe that Buhari is communicating with the CBN governor. And this is exactly what is happening. It's not what they are trying to achieve, is what do they think they will prevent? Because they know that what's brought about all of this scarcity of cash flow is because people are hoarding money at home. So they are still thinking in that vein, what can we do to prevent what we have right now? Because if I have $1 billion at home stored up somewhere, and you're about to just destroy that particular money, that I can't change it anymore, they're trying to think, what if they come up with this scheme to change this money slowly without being attacked by the crime commission in Nigeria? So that's the only thing that I'm seeing there. They're trying to prevent schemes that might be able to move that money in, out. But if that's what they're thinking, whether they can achieve it or not is what I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir George. We'll leave it there. I'm sure we're coming to revisit it very soon because many, like Ambassador Anita, will not want to be carrying voluminous cash about in the wallets, and yet our situation does not easily permit us to pay through cashless society. Well, Ambassador Anita, I want to give you these opportunities. Take us off. It appears that the Northerners are in support of PDP and Atiku. The Northern elders continuously say they're decamping from APC to PDP. Is there something going on in Nigeria, Northern Nigeria especially? I mean, when you look at Dogara, you look at Babashir Lawal, you look at latest is Shagari, and so these people are decamping seriously to support Atiku. You think Obi should be worried and BAT should be worried?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shegun. The thing about decamping from one party to the other is not new. when you talk about politics. They might just make a decision overnight. You just feel, oh, okay, this person is going to favor me. Why don't I just decamp and support the person? So I think that's what's going on. They don't really have, any different motive, like the usual. Maybe, okay, Atiku is the person who wants to support him. Obi is the person who wants to leave PDP for Labour Party. So I think, and again, the fact that Atiku is from the north, the tribalistic thing. Oh, let me support my brother. Just like the Southwest, they want to support Tinubu and all that. There are certain people, they are not supporting Tinubu because they feel he is going to deliver, but just because they feel they are Yorubas, they need to support their own. They don't need to support an Igbo man or a Hausa man. And then the Hausa people are saying, okay, we're kind of divided right now. Some persons are going with Shetima because, he's a running mate for Tinubu. And then some other persons are saying, oh, Atiku, he's been there before. At least we can, kind of bank on here that he will deliver. So I think that's just the back and forth. They've not really come up with any concrete reason why they're decamping to different parties, basically. It's a regular thing we see in politics, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's a fair analysis. Osita, are you going to back our ambassador that way? I mean, it's a bit irrational, isn't it?
What we try to do here is not partisanship. We all have the way we feel, and I like the way she put it. She very cleverly, made that point known. But my addition to what you just said is that we have been moved from a tradition of politics. I remember when my own father supported UPN. He was Awolowo's from the Igbo-speaking part of Nigeria. And the people were asking him, are you well? You are moving all the way from here to, to do UPN. And my father said, this is my ideology. That's where I'm going. It was politics of ideology at that time. So the issue now, it has gone. It has died. What we do now is people have become so atrophied by the goings on that we are losing gravitas every day. Everybody is going in a direction where stomach infrastructure is a thing. What George is saying this morning is heart-rending because money had become so important that people packed it in warehouse and thought that it was empty bottles. By the time they pulled them out, they were rotten. That is not the way money is used anywhere in the world. That is not the way money is treated. This is what is happening. But the good thing about it is that God does not like ugly. Very soon, we will hate money. Because we'll see all the evil things money will do.
Okay.
We will see all the things money will do, and we'll hate money.
Sir George, all of these kind of permutation, combination, disloyalty, moving from, they're very, very strange to us in the West. What kind of democracy is this?
There are no ideological differences from one party to another in Nigeria. The only difference there is the individual occupying those offices. So to jump from APC to PDP to LP, Labour Party, all those things, it doesn't matter. It's politics of self-interest. How am I going to benefit from this? Or if I jump from, a PDP to APC, I will not be prosecuted for all the crimes and all the money that I stole because I'm under the umbrella of the leading party right now. So that's what you see in Nigeria. So democracy has been given to us, but our democracy up till now is nothing but a sham. It's a sham. Democracy in Nigeria is a sham, and that's short and simple. Until we grow to the point where we are able to adopt the real sense and the spirit of democracy, all we are doing is just painting pictures.
Wow. Well, that's how we look at it right now, and we need to. What are we going to do right now but to just wish Nigeria well? My friends all over the world, Sir George in Toronto, Godwin Ibe in Moscow, Russia, Dr. Sita in Abuja, Mark in Milan, and of course the Queen of the House today, Ambassador Anita. I wish you well, Ambassador Anita. Go and get a big purse or bag when you are withdrawing money on the night.
No. Anita need to get one of those trucks with a big, huge. What do you call it? Not tipper, but
bullion. No, she
truck.
needs a bullion van now. Anita, when you are withdrawing, take a bullion van and
or a pickup truck.
That's how
enough security.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Maki Milan, and the crew in Italy. Thank you very much for showing us. We'll be back on Friday. God bless you all.
Thank you very much.